Unpopular opinions. I thought that I should do them. I thought this was a rap, but I don't be doing that. What? Ew, I'm really dizzy. Okay, so the first unpopular opinion. Something that I really is this actually has to go. This has to do with a lot of the same category. Does that make sense? It has to do with another category that I'm going to bring up, which is the term fat. Apparently, fat is a offensive term. I can see why it's an offensive term, only because people get made fun of for being fat, but also people get made fun of for being too skinny. It's just that it's more publicized for people being bullied about being fat, and like nobody ever talks about people being skinny because people think just because you're skinny you're healthy. I don't know, but like I honestly don't think that there's anything wrong with the term being fat. Fat supposedly is like a offensive term. It's a hate speech crime word. I don't know, but my thing is, like I said in my other video, what's her name? Monique. Remember Monique from 106 & Park? She had her own talk show on BET, whatever. She was Miss Parker. Not that Miss Parker. She wasn't that Miss Parker, if you know what I'm talking about. She was always calling skinny girls itches. And why they had to be itches? Because they were skinny. And my thing is, it's like, it's a descriptive word. Fat. She's fat. She's fatter. She has weight on her. She has more weight on her than the average person. Just like skinny. She's skinnier than the person that's fat. She's skinnier than the average person. And skinny, if we're gonna go there, skinny is an offensive term. If that's an offensive term, like it should be. People always think that if someone calls you skinny, it's a good thing. How do you know that someone isn't happy being skinny? Like I actually used to be very bony, like very disgustingly bony, and I hated it. I didn't like being skinny. I was unhappy with myself. I always tried to gain weight and I couldn't gain weight. And now that I'm this way, I actually would prefer to be a little skinnier, but not really. Like, not actually, that's a lie. If I didn't have this little bit of belly that I had and a little extra meat on my thighs I could get rid of, that'd be nice. But I'm just like, I grew up describing people as fat or skinny, big boned, big chested, heavy set. I mean, for some reason it's just been turned to this negative thing. Like people are fat. You're fat. It's not a bad thing. Like I don't understand. So my unpopular opinion with that is fat is not a bad term. It's not a negative term. It's not an offensive term. Now, this might sound contradicting, but I won't say someone is fat because I don't know, like I wouldn't actually, because of the time that we live in, like it's a really sensitive time and people are easily offended. So I wouldn't say that because, you know, I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to just know that someone's going to get offended by saying the word fat and then say it. If I could have said they're a little bigger, they have a little more meat, they're a little thicker. I'm not even gonna say thick because now thick is a sexual, I'm not sexual, but a sexy term. So I'm not even gonna say thick because do you gonna think I'm sexy attractive, and like that's up for you to determine. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Like I'm not gonna call you fat, but in my mind I'm not gonna be offended if you call someone that I know fat or if you call me fat. If that's how you want to describe me, that's how you describe me. If you say I got all this, yeah, you know that girl with all the acne? I hate having acne, bro. It sucks, but I have it. That's how you describe me, right? All right, I'm gonna calm down. Where's my water? I'm talking a lot. My mouth is getting dry. What is hate speech? We're playing Jeopardy. What is hate speech? Because my unpopular opinion about hate speech is sometimes people don't be like categorized and they don't be taking that the right way. It's like if I have a different opinion than you, it don't mean that I hate you. I just don't agree. So people get confused between opinions and like actual hateration. There's just a lot of contradictions these days because it seems like everyone and their grandmama and their grandmama's grandkids don't like Donald Trump. And that's your opinion. If you don't like him, don't like him. If you don't want him to be the president, don't want him to be the president. That's on you. But don't try to be like, you know, saying all these bad things about him, having his decapitation in a music video, Snoop Dogg. And like, that's hate. But you want me to, I don't understand. Where the love at? Where the love go? I just don't understand how we can't have hate speech, but when it comes to the president, we can hate him. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't really, this is another unpopular opinion. When it comes to presidency, when it comes to politics, I just don't really get down with that, you know. They say there's a left and a right, but I think there's just an all over. That's my unpopular opinion. I think that whoever's in office is going to do whatever they're going to want to do, and I don't think that there's one person that makes the decision. I don't think that the person in the office makes the decision. I think there's people above the people who make the decision, and I think there's people above the actual president who make decisions, and presidents are just little puppets. So I don't really think it matters. So I personally don't really care for Trump. So it's not like I'm trying to defend Trump or anything. If it was Barack Obama and everybody was hating Barack Obama, I'd be like, why y'all hating him? If y'all are so whatever about hate speech, but y'all are gonna go around talking crap about the president of the United States, talking about to assassinate him, like, how are y'all not getting arrested, bruh? You're literally saying that you want the president to die. Like, that should be attempted murder or assassination on the president. How are y'all not getting in trouble for that? Anyways, like I said, like, I personally am not trying to defend that person. It's just a lot of contradictions of it. There's this term I used to hear a lot growing up, and it's called time heals all wounds. And I'm just like, I mean, no. Time heals all literal physical wounds, but not really, because I still got scars. Like, can you see my knee? No, you can't. Okay, look right here. Where that at? You see that? You see them two bumps right there? I had a zit on my face. I tried to pop it, but somehow it got infected and it grew. Like, my chin got enlarged. Like, I was out here looking like American Dad or whatever, Family Guy, whatever, back in 2014, and I still have a scar from it. So that wound healed, but there's still a scar. So in real life, you know, if you did your man's wrong, or if you did your girl wrong, or if you did your friend wrong, depending on what it is, depending on the person, just because a couple months went by doesn't mean somebody finna let that go. Which, you know, as a Christian, you know, you're supposed to forgive and stuff, but in your heart, when you really think about what had happened, you just like, dang, can I trust you? I don't know, I'm afraid to trust you. Oh, and you know, it's been a year since you did that, so yeah, you thought that, you know, time had healed it, but like, nah, it doesn't make sense. You have to work it out. Say I ran over your husband, and then I tried to be your friend, and then, you know, I didn't tell you that I ran over and killed your husband until like after you have found out somehow, and then you hate me, and then a year goes by and we don't talk. The next time you see me, you gonna want to wreck. But time has went by, so that means time does not heal all wounds, because the last time you see me, you want to wreck me. So that means you want to see me, you want to hurt me again. The only way wounds will heal is if you work through them, if you deal with it, if you go to therapy, if you talk to God, you know, like, it's not going to just get better by itself. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Stupid, man. Stupid, make no bit. So we understand. Another thing that I heard growing up, you only live once. Bruh, if I only lived once, you would not be seeing me right now. If I only lived once, I would have died the day after I was born. If I had a mic, I would drop it right now. Like, really, youngin'? Young. YOLO. I'm sorry. YOLO is the dumbest thing. Like, my generation, oh my God. Why couldn't I have been born in the 70s? Like, this is the stupidest thing, bro. Like, that was a made-up abbreviation for young people to go out and act reckless and not feel bad about it because, oh, you only live once. And if you only live once, you want to do everything you want to do so that by the time you get old, you know, you can just say you did it all. But if you only live once, you wouldn't get old because you only live once. You think you can go out and party and drink and then get in a car accident and you'll be dead tomorrow? That's what YOLO means. That means you won't get in trouble for the stuff you did that day because you only lived that day. You did all the stuff you wanted to do in one day, and you're not going to get in trouble because you ain't going to live to see the next day because YOLO. But no. Sorry, no. YOLO was fake. Now, you're only in your 20s once. You're only allowed to make stupid decisions once. Yeah, this is, I don't know how to describe this. I'm just gonna like put a phrase up that I made. That's your family, you gotta love them anyway, huh? Or that's how they are, that's just how they are, you gotta deal with it, huh? So somebody wanna lie on me and say that I did all these things but I gotta realize that that's how they are. They're just liars, so I'm just gonna comply with their lying. No. The whole family thing, like if your family does that, but you have to live with them anyway, and you have to like hang around them and go out of your way to see them, that's not me. Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, I can't put the blame on you. Fool me 3 times, bro? Forget that peace sign, you know. Wait, how's it go for peace sign? Load the chopper. Now, I'm not trying to kill nobody. Like, J. Cole, you went too far. If you're a toxic person, I'm not going to go out of my way to see you. And if I know that you're a certain way, I'm going to keep my distance. You know, I just don't agree with, oh, you got to love them anyway. Like, yeah, you can love them. I'm not saying that I hate anyone, but I'm not going to accept you acting ugly toward me. I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm just going to make sure I remove myself from various situations in which that can happen, in which I would encounter such things. So that's all I have for unpopular opinions. If you like to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please let me know some unpopular opinions that you have in the comment section, and maybe I'll feel free to do a video about your unpopular opinions because there's a lot out there. But I felt this was therapeutic for me. I just got a lot off my chest. So I'm just gonna go eat now.